reflection for the Saturday after Ash Wednesday. I want to focus primarily on our first reading today, with a little bit of our gospel. But this continues in the vein that we've had of helping the people around us. And what we're told today is that if we do remove from our midst oppression, false accusation, malicious speech, right, if we're finding ways which we root out sin and help virtue grow around us, then light shall rise from you in the darkness, and the gloom shall become for you like midday. A part of why we go through this, again, we're focused on our interior relationship with God, as we heard earlier on in this journey just a few days ago. Our focus isn't on how we look. We heard this on Ash Wednesday. How do people see that I'm fasting? Do people tell that I'm doing extra things for Lent? Am I having to tell everybody about it? Now, of course, it might be appropriate to share it with some people, but we don't need to make it a public witness to everybody. Am I focused on that, or am I focused on being where I need to be with God? If I'm focused on that relationship with God, if I'm focused on developing that relationship, going deeper on it, and being penetrated, having my heart penetrating, growing closer to God, I'm going to become a light for other people. Now, that does not necessarily mean everything is going to be easy. So this goes side by side with picking up our cross every day and following the Lord. And we'll come back to that in our gospel in a second. But in reading this and praying with it briefly, what popped in my mind and my heart was Saint Teresa of Calcutta. Right? She loved better than other people, just the way in which she approached her life, laying down her life as a sacrifice to take care of the poorest of the poor, those who have been cast out in our world, taught or treated as if they are just garbage. And she enters into that suffering. She loves well, and what does she do? She becomes a beacon of hope for people. She becomes a beacon of light. But on the interior, as a part of her cleansing and a part of what allows her to be that light, is she goes through desolation. She has roughly 40 years of spiritual dryness where she can't feel God's presence. Now, because of her formation, she knows that He is present. I think she can probably tell by the fruit of her labors, which is very scriptural, that God is present, that God is working there. But she doesn't feel it. When we start to sacrifice for other people, we go through that cleansing. Sometimes it doesn't feel good. We have to know the reality, the objective reality. Even though subjectively we don't feel good, objectively, God is very pleased. God is doing something beautiful. God's going to move other people to do the same type of thing, to hand themselves over in whatever way that is appropriate for them. And so we want to be mindful of that reality. One way that we can step into giving ourselves over to the Lord more comes to us in about 2/3 of the way through our reading today. If you hold back your foot on the Sabbath from following your own pursuits on my holy day, if you call the Sabbath a delight and the Lord's holy day honorable, if you honor it all the ways that you're supposed to, you shall delight in the Lord, and I will make you ride on the heights of the earth. So one of the ways we do this is treating the Lord's day the way that we're supposed to. Now, the Sabbath was supposed to be a day of rest. It still is for us today. We've just moved it to Sunday to celebrate the joy of the resurrection. And so with this, treat Sunday the way that it's supposed to be treated. It is meant to be a day of rest. If you can avoid work, avoid work. Do your chores on Saturday. So don't just put them off. Get them done ahead of time. When I was in college, towards the end of my college career, I started to do this. And when I was in seminary, I very much tried to do this. I did all of my work, did it on Friday afternoon and evening, which was not typical, especially in college. I did it early on Saturday so I could have Sunday as a day of rest. And it was very spiritually rewarding. It was very life-changing. As a priest, I have to work on Sunday, so I try to make what I can on Sunday a restful day, but that's why a priest takes off, for most of us, at least pastors, Monday, a day to still rest with the Lord. And so if you have to work on Sunday, transfer it to another day as best you're able to. What we're doing in that moment is we're trusting in the Lord. As it says, from following your own pursuits on my holy day, you're holding back from doing what you want, you're doing what God wants. With us moving into Sunday, it's the first day of the week, regardless of what your calendar says. It's what it really is. We're trusting God. God, I'm going to give you the first day. The first fruits of this week are yours. I'm going to trust you to help me get everything done that I need to get done. It's a beautiful act of faith. Now, it's easy to say that, and if it's something that you've really struggled with, make a step. Through the rest of this Lenten season, on Sunday, do something that you enjoy. Take an hour. Take 2 hours. Maybe you enjoy watching movies. Sit down with some family, watch a movie. You enjoy a nice meal, share a meal with some family and friends. Right, whatever's appropriate, do at least one thing that you enjoy, but slowly try to hand over the entire day. It's a beautiful way of helping us enter into the season more completely. With that, we are able to also remember we approach our fast and our sacrifice of this season the way that we want, as long as it's not against the church rule, because it's something that we're taking on ourselves. Our extra obligations are up to us to decide. So the question comes up every year, what do I do on Sunday? I say, if you want to enjoy the things you're sacrificing from on Sunday, that's completely appropriate. Every Sunday is a mini Easter, even during the Lenten season. And I've shared this before, but if I'm giving up something sweet, oftentimes I give up desserts as a part of my sacrifice. If I enjoy that on Sunday, it makes it much harder the next week. So I'm getting two things at once. Once, every Sunday I'm enjoying a part of the joy of the resurrection, but the rest of the week I'm also making my sacrifice a little bit harder, which helps purify me and cleanse me a little bit more. That can be one way you can approach it. So just keeping that in mind as we move deeper in the season. But a feast is also a part of what we're called to prepare ourselves for. Our gospel today, Jesus comes to Levi, a tax collector. He says, follow me. Again, pick up your cross daily and follow. And so he's doing that. That leads to him having a big meal with a bunch of sinners so that they can encounter Christ, a great cause for celebration. And Jesus gives us beautiful reminder that he's there to heal the sick. As we're going through this, we have to realize that a part of why we're doing these things is because every one of us is a spiritually sick person to some degree. Some are dying of spiritual cancer. Some of us have a cold. So we need to be honest with ourselves. We want to realize that we still need some healing from Christ. And God bless.